The COYOTE 6-inch pedestal with universal organizer and anchor stake comes with the following components: dome, split base, universal organizer with bus bar, cable retention kit, small parts bag, anchor stake, and anchor stake attachment hardware. Prepare the trench following your standard company practices. Be careful not to damage any buried cables or wires while digging. Recommended trench size: 16 inches by 16 inches by 9.5 inches. Verify and establish an earth ground is accessible at or near the pedestal base installation site. Place the earth ground following your standard company practices. Place cable or conduit in the trench. For express cable applications, ensure at least 134 inches of cable is prepared. From the ground line to the sheath opening is 14 inches. Cable sheath opening is 106 inches. For cut cables, prepare at least 67 inches. From the ground line to the sheath opening is 14 inches. Cable sheath opening is 53 inches. Remove the pedestal from the bag. The bag should be saved and used as a moisture barrier during the base installation. Using a can wrench, turn the hex lock a quarter turn clockwise. Hold this position and lift the dome from the base. The universal organizer is shipped already installed. To remove the organizer, pull on the tab located on the inside leg of the organizer and lift slightly. Repeat this process on the second leg to release it from the base. The split base can be separated by loosening the bolts on each side of the base. Loosen the bolts a couple turns to separate the base halves, then lift the front half away from the rear half. Remove the anchor stake kit from the back of the organizer. Using the back half of the base, create an impression in the trench to determine the position of the anchor stake. For harder ground, use a tool to mark the location. The base should be installed in the trench so that the existing conduits or feed cables are towards the rear of the base. The anchor stake will attach to the rear of the base with the flat edge sitting in the stake channel on the back half of the base. Install the anchor stake into the trench following your standard company practices. Ensure the anchor stake is level. Attach the back half of the base to the installed anchor stake using the hardware provided. Place a fender washer on the bolt and install on the inside of the base. Use a flat washer, lock washer, and a nut on the outside of the base. Tighten the hardware to secure the base to the stake. Reinstall the front half of the base by aligning the bottom posts and bolts with the rear half. Tighten the bolts on both sides to secure the halves together. Level the base assembly before proceeding. A ground line is located on both halves of the base. Ribbed walls on the base provide extra stability to resist ground heave. The drop cable entrance is located on the front half of the base. Cover or plug any conduits in the trench to prevent backfill from filling them. Conduits can be plugged using vinyl tape. Pull the foam plug located inside the drop channel to the top of the channel to prevent backfill from filling the channel. Add backfill to the base and trench, periodically tamping the soil to remove air from the backfill. It is important to verify that the base is level throughout the installation process. Backfill the base and trench following your standard company practices. The backfill in the trench outside the base should be level with or above the ground line located on the base. Never mound backfill soil on the outside of the base to make it appear that the base is installed to the recommended depth. If you need to straighten the pedestal at any future time, never attempt to straighten by pulling, pushing, or manipulating the dome. Remove the soil from around the base and readjust the base to replumb and straighten a pedestal post-installation. Follow your company standard practices prior to readjusting an installed pedestal. Once backfill is at the proper level, install the moisture barrier. The bag used to package the pedestal can be used as a moisture barrier. Pour company-approved pea gravel on the top of the moisture barrier. Make sure not to accidentally fill any conduits or drop channel inside the base. Recommended backfill and pea gravel levels are shown. Reinstall the organizer into the base. Push the organizer into the installed base until 2 clicks are heard. The organizer can only be installed into the base one way. The bus bar should face towards the front of the pedestal. The feed cable should route to the side of the universal organizer near the rear of the base. Using the ledge of the cable restraint area, mark the cables to be opened. The universal organizer can be removed from the base to allow for more room for cable preparation. Open cables using standard opening tools. Install the shield connectors onto the feed cables. Install a ground wire into the lug located on the bus bar. Tighten the lug set and screw and nut following your standard company practices. Remove the small parts bag from the universal organizer. Install the cap on the strength member bracket and loosely secure it to the bracket with the screw provided. Align the cable sheath with the screw hole on the strength member bracket. Trim the strength member at the end of the bracket. Position the strength members under the cap and tighten. Install bonding braids to the shield connectors installed on the feed cable. Secure the cable to the strength member bracket with the hose clamp provided. Align the strength member bracket to the cable restraint area on the organizer and secure the bracket using the screw provided. Route the bonding braids to the bus bar on the drop side of the organizer. Determine the locations to install the routing clips as shown. To install the clips, firmly press the clips into the organizer until they click into place. Install routing clips on the drop side near the window cutout. Install the retention tabs onto the drop side of the organizer by locating the slots and pressing the tabs in until they clip into place. Route express buffer tubes through the routing clips around the organizer. Locate the buffer tubes to be spliced. Route them directly through the bottom window to the drop side of the organizer. Store any unused tubes in the routing clips on the feed side of the organizer. Store the buffer tubes to be spliced under the retention tabs on the drop side of the organizer. To splice fiber using the flip trays, the flip tray kit needs to be ordered and installed. Install the flip tray spacer to the organizer by locating the holes and securing the spacer using the screws provided. The rounded end of the spacer should be closest to the cable restraint area. Install the flip tray tower onto the spacer by sliding it into the slots on the spacer. The tower is fully engaged when the top is flush with the flat edge of the spacer. Install the flip tray into the tower by firmly pressing the tray into the tower position closest to the organizer. Install the hold-down strap into the slots on the organizer. Route buffer tubes to the flip tray. Mark where to open the buffer tube and expose the bare fibers following your standard company practices. Secure buffer tubes to the flip trays using the LITE-GRIP retention sleeves or felt and tie wraps. Route bare fibers into the tray and reinstall the tray cover. Secure the flip trays to the organizer using the hold-down strap. The front half of the split base has a drop channel to allow for easier installation of in-ground drop cables. The drop channel comes with a foam plug pre-installed. Squeeze the drop channel to release it from the tabs. Dig a small trench to access the drop channel. Push the drop into the drop channel and through the foam plug. The foam can be removed and slit prior to installation of the drop. At least 67 inches is recommended for drop cable installations. Using the ledge of the cable restraint area, mark the cables to be opened. Open drop cables following your company standard practices. Install the cap on the strength member bracket and loosely secure it to the bracket with the screw provided. Align the cable sheath with the screw hole on the strength member bracket. Trim the strength member at the end of the bracket. Position the strength members under the cap and tighten. Secure the cable to the strength member bracket with the hose clamp provided. Align the strength member bracket to the cable restraint area on the organizer. Secure the bracket using the screw provided. Route drop cables to the splice trays. Mark the buffer tube to be opened. Expose the bare fibers following your company standard practices. Secure buffer tubes to the flip trays using the LITE-GRIP retention sleeves or felt and tie wraps. Route bare fibers into the tray and reinstall the tray cover. Secure all flip trays to the organizer using the hold-down strap. Once all splicing has been completed, reinstall the dome to the base. The automatic lock on the dome will engage with the base once installed. Pull up on the dome to ensure that the lock is properly engaged with the base.